If you are looking to become more persuasive, more attractive, more affecting in the lives of others, if you're looking to recruit people to your team, cause, mission, and organizations that can become lightning rods of change, growth, and transformation, there is one quality that you are looking to develop in yourself and to find in others. Let me explain this quality by using a story from antiquity. So, there's an interesting story set back in the very early Christian years. First off, you have to remember, it wasn't like it is today. The early Christian years, and I'm talking only 20 or 30 years after Jesus was crucified, were mean, tough, and ugly. Back then, you didn't go around saying, "I'm a Christian." They would cut off your head or throw you in jail. Unlike today, they didn't fill an entire Coliseum for a Sunday rally with Joel Osteen or the Promise Keepers. In fact, back then, it was well known, if you're a Christian, you wanted to stay out of the Coliseum, and especially on Sundays, because Sundays is when they had fun feeding the Christians to the lions. You've heard the stories, right? Well, when things are mean, tough, and ugly, that is when you need a leader, someone of influence, someone who can change things. So the story goes that God went out recruiting, and God lands upon this guy named Saul from Tarsus. Now, Saul was a really good pick. He was an incredible guy. His nickname was All Out Saul, because whatever Saul was into, you're gonna hear about it. Saul had a political opinion, everybody was gonna know about it. Saul liked a new wine, everybody was gonna be trying it. That was All Out Saul. Now, there was only one problem with Saul as a potential recruit for leading the Christians, and that problem was he hated Christians. He hated them so much, and he had some credibility in the community that he could get letters of authority to go around legally killing Christians. And he did, with abundance. Well, this one time Saul heard about this new group that was growing up in Damascus. Saul goes into a fit and a rage. Saul gathers some men, he gets those letters of authority, and he goes booking it for Damascus. Now, God's looking down on this whole scene, and he sees Saul, and he says, "Oh, that's my man." So a lightning bolt comes from the heavens above, strikes Saul, knocking him off his horse and burying his head in the sand, which blinds him for 3 days. Now, God's got some recruiting tools we just don't have available to us, right? I mean, wouldn't you love to have somebody that you wanted to recruit and all you had to do was send a lightning bolt down upon them, blind them until they saw the light and joined your organization? That'd be awesome, right? Well, I guess if you're God, you can cheat like that. Well, as you probably know, the story goes, Saul gets converted to Christianity. It is Saul of Tarsus that you might now know as Paul the Apostle, one of the greatest Christian leaders there ever was, widely considered the second most important figure in Christianity than Christ himself as number uno. There is a famous quote in the Bible from Paul that says, "The things I once hated, I now love. The things I once loved, I now hate." The point being, no matter what he believed in, he was passionate about it. And that is the quality that you are looking for in yourself and in those that you bring into your organization. You see, I don't mind if you disagree with me, as long as you disagree vigorously. I like full throttle, fully engaged, and passionate people. Even some of your greatest adversaries can become your greatest allies and champions. Kaylee McKinney was the Saul turned to Paul. She appeared regularly on CNN as a paid commentator, declaring there and on Fox Business that, quote, "Donald Trump has shown himself to be nothing but a showman, and it is unfortunate and he is inauthentic to be a Republican." Kaylee called his comments about Mexican immigrants racist. But then, who knows what bolt of lightning hit her, and suddenly she became not only a supporter and advocate, but his actual press secretary, and undoubtedly his best. What a hell of a job that must be, right? You also saw this with a very passionate Steve Jobs and strong-willed Bill Gates. For decades, Steve Jobs cast Gates and Microsoft as the evil enemy. But it was Gates and Microsoft who stepped in to help Jobs save Apple in 1997, when Gates invested $150 million to save Apple from financial insolvency. Bill and Steve Apple and Microsoft allied on many other successful projects thereafter as well. So Darren Daily friends, evaluate for yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the Saul of Tarsus, how passionate do you show up in your day to day? To every meeting, to every Zoom, to every phone call, to the store, to the gym, to the coffee shop, to every room that you enter. How do you show up to your family at night, to your friends, to your church? Be honest with where you are and where you intend to raise it. Take a few notes in your Darren Daily journal and then tell us in the comments below.